Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. I'm here with coffee and this full face of makeup to talk to you. Now this is a different kind of video than most of the videos on my channel, so please let me know if you like it. If you guys hate these, I guess I won't do them, or I'll just do them and you don't have to watch them, I guess. I don't know. I've just been watching a lot of storytime videos lately and I thought that I would like to add something to these stories on the YouTube. And I just was thinking about two super awkward, like, public encounters that I have had in life, because I was watching someone's story time and they were talking about like their creepy experiences, not necessarily like paranormal, but like creepy. And I was thinking about like awkward, creepy. One's more like awkward than creepy, but it like started out creepy, but basically just like experiences I've had in the public with strangers. So the first story took place in the summer of 2013. So I was 19 years old, and I know I was 19 years old, which is important for the rest of the story. So my friend and I'm gonna call her Sarah because I don't want to put people's names out there on the internet if they don't want them out there, so we'll just call her Sarah. So like, I do theater, and we were in a show together, and after the show, Sarah and I were like, let's go out. And so we went to this restaurant, and okay, I live in like a medium-sized town, so like downtown there's like, there's like a few blocks of like restaurants and stuff. And we wanted to park on the side of the street where there's like parking in the street, kind of like parallel parking, but you know, and it's like whatever. So we were parked on that side of the street, and that side of the street is where all the bars are. But we were going to a restaurant on the other like side of that block, you know what I'm saying? So you'd have to like go around the block to get there, but it was just easier to park on this other side. And so we park, we go to the restaurant, we have a good time, and we leave. And we have to go back through the alley to get to our car. And as we're going through this alley, we see these like four guys come out of the bar. And they're obviously like pretty drunk because it's kind of late. And we see one just like staring at us. He's just like staring, and we're like, okay, time to go. So we're like kind of hurrying to the car like you do. And as we're walking, like we come out of the alley to go towards the car, and they're like still a little behind us, and we hear, hey, 19. And both of us are 19 years old. And so the first thought we both have, we like look at each other and we're like, oh my God, how does he know we're 19? Oh my God. And so we're like freaking out, and we're like keep walking like faster, and then we hear him go, Taves. And we're like, oh my God. I'm wearing a Taves shirt jersey because this was, it was probably like the Western Conference final or the Stanley Cup final by this point of the summer. And so obviously I'm wearing my Blackhawks stuff, and Taves' number is 19. And so then we're like, oh my God, we were being ridiculous. They're just like having fun. And so we're like, ha ha ha, bye. And we like go to the car. And as we get in the car, we notice they're like still walking towards us, and then we're like, okay, well this is weird. So I'm like buckling my seatbelt, she's buckling hers, and all of a sudden he knocks on the window, like knocks on my window. I'm in the driver's seat, and he knocks, and we're like, oh my God. And like I lock the door really fast. I'm like, he's like, I'm not gonna do anything, I'm not gonna do anything. Like he looked genuinely surprised that we would be like scared that he was knocking on the car window at night. And so I like roll my window down a crack because he didn't seem dangerous at this point, you know. And he's like, okay, we just wanted, he was like, sorry I scared you, but like we just wanted to know if you could name 5 Blackhawks players. So you couldn't have yelled that like in the street. See, now I got what he was trying to do. I was like, you're just trying to make sure I'm not a Fairweather fan. I get it. I hate those. Like, I get it. But why are you knocking on my car window? So at that point, we just named 5 Blackhawks players, and he was like, they're all right. They're all right. And then he like goes back to his friends, and we like pull away and bounce. But that was like truly terrifying in that moment because I thought he was probably gonna kill us because maybe he like really likes people that are 19. I don't know. But he was just a Blackhawks fan, like looking out for the team, you know? So now I'm gonna move on to the story that's actually like kind of scary. So this story took place the previous winter, like the winter right before that summer. And I go to school, well, I went to school at the time. I was in school, so I was a sophomore. Doesn't really matter for the story, but if you wanted to know. And so I went to school in the Chicago area, and so I was out with my friend. I'll call this friend Jessica, because again, I don't know if she wants me to use her name. And so I genuinely don't remember like where we were coming from. Like we might have been coming from a concert or something, or maybe we just went out to eat. But so it was like late, and it must have been at least like 11 o'clock. So we're on the train coming home. I'm not going to say what school I go to or what line of the CTA it was, but it was one of the CTA lines. And there are some interesting individuals you will meet on the CTA. So our stop was the last stop. And so we were on it for a long time, and we thought that we were like in the clear. It was pretty much empty. No one was bothering us, like, cause a lot of times you take it and it's like super chill. And so we were like, man, we're almost there. We were like 3 stops away. And all of a sudden, this guy just comes like walking over. You know how, okay, to explain it, I'm assuming that the ones in New York are similar, but in Chicago now, most of the lines changed like how the cars are laid out. So it's just like lines of seats right along like the wall, I guess, like the windows, and they face inside into the aisle. So there's like a lot of standing room. And so this guy is like standing directly in front of us, like with his arms, like he's like holding on to the like bar at the top to like not fall over. And he looks so out of it. And we're like, hi, like, because we accidentally made eye contact with him, and he was like, hey. And we're like, huh. So we start talking, because what else do you do? Like, you can't just like pretend to not see him anymore. And he like asked us, he's like, so where are you guys from? And stupid me was like, oh, I'm from Indiana. And she was like, I'm from St. Louis. And like, so it was like really awkward. So like, we're like, whatever. We should have probably made up where we were from, but we didn't. And so we like tell him where we're from. And he goes, oh, I'm from Indiana. I'm from Terre Haute. And I'm like, cool, great. And like, it's always like really bad when that happens, because then they think they have something in common with you. So he's like still trying to talk to us. I don't remember what the conversation was about for a while. Like it was probably about school or something. I know he asked us what school we went to. And even though there's another school literally blocks away from our own, we decided that we would just tell him what school we actually went to. Because looking back, we could have just told him the other one, because we could have been going to either one. Or we could have said some random high school, you know. But no, we tell him exactly what school we go to. And as we're leaving the train, he is like standing behind us a little bit, and like on the platform as we're walking, he goes, so which one of you wants to get it on tonight? And we were like, neither of us. Like for sure neither of us. So we like go down the stairs, and there's like 2 stairs you can use. So it actually must have been before 11, because I think they closed the other stairs. And so we go out the stairs we don't normally go. And we were gonna wait for the shuttle. Oh, it definitely had to be before 11, because we have a shuttle with our school, and like it runs every hour from like this train stop to the school. And so the last times that it runs are like 11 and midnight. And it runs after midnight, and you can just call it. But anyway, so like we had to wait for the shuttle, and it was definitely like a while before. So like our original plan had been that we'll just go to Dunkin' really fast to get a drink so we can like have it and wait, and it's cold, so like we can have a coffee. And as we go down the stairs, we see the guy, he's just standing, because one door comes out to one side of parking lot and one side the street, and then the other one goes out, like there's like a bridge, and the door's like right by the bridge, basically like right underneath the bridge. And he's standing right there, just like standing, and we're like, holy crap, he is waiting for us, and he's probably going to murder us. And he like knows what school we go to now, because we didn't lie, and we're probably gonna die. And so we're like, okay, let's just go to the Dunkin'. And we figured like, hey, there's this creepy guy stalking us. We could go into Dunkin'. There's people in there, there's workers, it's bright, and like maybe someone will help us. And like, so we go to the Dunkin'. So my initial thought is like, oh, I'll call my boyfriend, maybe he can like borrow a car and come pick us up, because at this point we were like scared to go under that bridge, which we would have to get to the bus stop. And so we're in there, and I call him, and we're like, there's this creepy guy. And so like other people can hear our conversation, and they're just kind of like staring at us, but no one's gonna do anything. And I guess like whatever, we could have directly asked for help or whatever. But so I'm on the phone, and he couldn't borrow the car, so he couldn't come pick us up. And we're like, well, we have to go now. So we get some Dunkin', because if you're gonna die, what you for sure need is coffee while you die. And we're like looking from the Dunkin', because you can see under the bridge. And we're like, okay, we didn't see him there anymore. So we're like, okay, maybe he moved on, and we'll just go. And so we leave, and we're like, okay, we can do it. We're like walking to the bus stop, walking. It's on the corner. We see a few people waiting there. It's also a bus stop for like other buses and everything. So we're like, we're gonna wait for the shuttle. And as we get close to the bus stop, who's standing there but this guy, just standing, and we freak out. We're like, he must know that the shuttle like comes here and he's gonna get on, and it didn't even occur to us that like maybe he was waiting for another bus. But anyways, we were right, because he got on the shuttle, and like it's a smaller school, so we know most people that go to the school, and we obviously knew he didn't go there because we were talking about it earlier and he didn't say that he went there. We like hide from him and we like rush on the bus like in the group so that he won't see us, you know? And we get on, because he's kind of standing spacing out, like we were pretty sure he was on some kind of drug, like he had to be. And so we're just like, we'll just get on, we're gonna do it. And instead of like stopping the bus driver to be like, hey, there's a guy standing at this bus stop and he is like, he seems not okay and we know he doesn't go here and he has like been harassing us. No, we don't say anything. We're just like, we're just gonna get on the bus and it's gonna be fine. We'll just hide from him. We're stupid. And so we're just sitting there and we're kind of like looking out because he's still standing by the bus, and at the last second he like walks up to it and he just gets on and he sits down, and we're like, he is going to kill us. Like he is coming to our school to kill us. Then he just starts talking to the driver of this shuttle like, where does this stop at? Like, is it gonna stop at blah blah blah? Like he clearly thought he was on a different bus. So like maybe we, at that point we're like, okay, he probably isn't coming to kill us. He thinks this like gets off somewhere. And the only places this stops at are school stops. So like it stops once at the train, once at the school, and at another part of the school. And that is it. And he's just like mumbling to this guy and he's like kind of swaying around. He does not look okay. And then he decides then that he's just gonna get off. The bus just stopped at a stop sign and he just like went to the door and the bus driver just let him off. And he's just wandering around out there somewhere, we guessed. And so once he was off the shuttle, we finally felt safer. We were like, okay, he was clearly just crazy on some kind of drug and didn't know where he was going because he was like mumbling weirdly and like, he was just a weirdo. And so yeah, that was that. He never did show up at our school, thank God. I mean, even if he did, he would have had to like sign into the dorms or something, so he couldn't have been able to get in, but like, still. It's good to know that he never showed up and we never did see him again, but that was one of the more terrifying experiences I've had in my life, and I did not appreciate it. Alright, and then the last story I have is funny. It's not my story, it's actually a person I know told me this story about it happening to her, also on the same train line that we were taking, the same CTA line. And this, she told us after we told her this story of this guy. She's like, the other night I'm on the train and I'm just sitting, and she accidentally made eye contact with a guy and he's like, I have to talk to you. And she's like, okay. And like, he just tells her, last night at exactly 11:17 I woke up because God was talking to me. She was like, okay. This story like still makes me laugh. And he's like, he's talking to me through my butthole. This guy is telling her like straight up, God talked to me through my butthole last night. And he explains that it was not in any way like bad, like it was the most holy feeling ever. And we're just like, and she was like, okay. But that was just like a quick story, but there are just some weirdos on public transportation. Just like some straight up weirdos. If any of you guys have any crazy stranger stories, leave them down below because I would love to hear what other people are forced to endure on this planet Earth. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's different than most videos that I do, but I kind of wanted to start doing story times just because I've been watching them a lot and I've come to enjoy them. So yeah. If you did like this video, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know also. Yeah, so hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!